I walked barefoot down to the payphone on the corner next to the corner store. The pavement was littered with rocks and bits of trash, but my callous feet barely registered them. It was 9 p.m. My mum was passed out, and I had someone waiting for my call. He was older, 19, living in Kentucky, my online boyfriend. He had sent me prepaid calling cards so we could talk without interruptions, without limits, without anyone listening in. I was only 13, but I had been pretending to be 18 for months. It wasn't hard to sell the lie. I was already over 6 feet tall, my face shaggy with early stubble, my voice a deep baritone since I was 8. No one ever questioned it. He made me feel safe. My mum wasn't comfortable with me being out yet, so I wasn't allowed much freedom. But at night, while she slept, I'd sneak out, make my way to that payphone and talk to him for as long as I could. We made plans. He was going to come to Fresno for Christmas, and since he thought I was an adult, I told him he could stay with me. In my head, it was more fantasy than reality, something to look forward to, but not something that would actually happen. And then one December evening, he was there, standing at my door. A surge of panic hit me like a slap. My online life and my real life had collided, and there was no way to undo it. My mum sat him down. She quickly realised he was an adult, realised I'd been lying, and shockingly took pity on him. The poor guy had no idea he'd been catfished by a kid. She let him stay with us until his return ticket took him back to New Jersey. He was devastated. We'd had so much in common, but nothing could happen because of my age. He was angry, hurt, betrayed. I tried to come on to him anyway, desperate to salvage the fantasy, but he rejected me every time. "I'm not into kids," he said, his voice full of frustration. At the time, I was furious with him, but now as an adult, I have nothing but respect for the way he handled it. After he left, my mum and I couldn't be in the same room for more than a minute without arguing. Tension filled every empty space in the apartment. I started sneaking out again, but this time I wasn't just calling someone on the phone. I was meeting men I'd found online. I was going to do what I wanted. Screw the rules. Having a long-distance boyfriend clearly hadn't worked out, so I figured I may as well get some local experience. For a few weeks, I felt freer than ever. I ignored my mum's authority completely, walking out the door whenever I pleased. And one night she gave me an ultimatum. "If you leave again, I'm calling the cops and reporting you as a runaway." I had exactly 0 shits to give about that. So I left, and this time, I didn't come back. I spent 3 days at a college guy's apartment. He was kind, older, and completely unaware of how young I really was. He introduced me to Tillis and Calico Quilt, cooked me falafel, and treated me with more care than most adults in my life ever had. But after a few days, he gently told me I had to go. I had nowhere to go but home. With my tail tucked firmly between my legs, I walked back. My mum didn't yell. She didn't say a word. She just picked up the phone, called the cops, and told them I'd returned. Moments later, an officer arrived, woke me from a nap, and escorted me to juvenile hall. I was being charged with running away. During intake, a medical exam revealed I had mononucleosis. Not wanting me to infect the other kids, they put me in solitary confinement, the same unit reserved for the most violent offenders. The guards didn't know what to do with me. I wasn't a threat, but for my safety, they kept me isolated. That meant no showers, no human interaction, and nothing but a small cell and the constant loop of 93.7, the local R&B station, playing through the speakers. Even now, Alea's Rock the Boat takes me right back to that route. Because of the mono, I slept through most of those 80 hours. Feverish and aching, I'd never felt more alone. For the first time in years, I missed my mum. When I was sick, she always made me soup. If they tried to feed me while I was locked up, they never bothered to wake me for it. I didn't eat a single crumb the entire time. By the time they released me on home monitoring, I was starving. The second I walked through my front door, I inhaled 3 sandwiches, full bag of chips, before collapsing into bed. I wish I could say that was the end of it. It wasn't. I was arrested for running away 4 more times before the system decided to remove me from my home and place me in group homes. And if you've read any of the other essays, you already know what a dozy that was. The thing is, during my so-called rebellious years, I wasn't doing drugs. I wasn't drinking, I wasn't committing crimes, I never hurt anyone, never stole, never vandalised. My only crime was struggling to grow up. And for that, I spent 2 years incarcerated, shuffled through the system, separated from my family, treated like a criminal. It's forever fucked me up. Every day I work to heal from the injustice I experienced firsthand, and every day I think about all the other kids who are funneled into the system when all they really need is someone to listen to them, to see them, to treat them like human beings instead of problems to be solved. We need fewer systems and more common sense. Instead of teaching me a lesson about justice, the system taught me that expressing my true feelings could land me in jail. Yay, America. Children deserve to be heard without fear of punishment. They deserve understanding, not incarceration. And we, as adults, need to be the people we wish we had when we were young. Support expression, not suppression. You might just change the course of someone's life.